This is a recap of Attraction, a science fiction action film, which you most likely haven't watched. If you like the video, please give us a like, subscribe to our channel or leave your comment in the section below. In Moscow, people gather on large open spaces to observe an unusual phenomenon, a meteor shower. The alien ship Sol falls into this stream of meteors. Its camouflage system is damaged and stops working. Russian military detect an unidentified object, unlike a meteorite, over the territory of Russia and, suspecting that it may belong to NATO, decide to shoot it down with accompanying interceptors. As a result, the shot-down giant alien ship crashes into Moscow, destroying residential buildings, a highway, and a stadium. As a result of the disaster, 232 people die. More than 500 are injured. The leadership of the Defense Department of the Russian Federation, in the person of the city commandant Colonel Valentin Lebedev, decides not to allow the development of the conflict and wait for further events, as the ship did not show any aggression, despite the attack of the Earthlings. It becomes obvious that the representatives of the alien civilization are trying to repair their transport. For this reason, the place is fenced off, military checkpoints are set up around. In Moscow, in connection with the events, a curfew is imposed. The center of the plot also focuses on the relationship of Muscovites, schoolgirl Yulia Lebedeva, her father, Colonel Valentin Lebedev, who oversees the operations of the Defense Department in connection with the incident, and Artem, Yulia's friend, a representative of modern aggressive youth from Chertanovo. In the incomplete family of the Lebedevs, the relationship does not work out. The father, being a military man, is constantly busy, and he is not interested in the details of his daughter's life. Being a high school student, Yulia meets Artem, which does not find approval from Valentin Lebedev. During the disaster, Yulia and Artem's close friend, Svetlana Morozova, dies, which causes both of them to hate the aliens. At the same time, they themselves barely survive. The alien ship cuts off the top floor, and Artem and Yulia are actually hanging over the abyss, holding onto the bed only. Trying to figure out the purpose of the visit of the alien ship, the guys secretly go to the closed area of its fall, cordoned off by the military. There they meet Hikon, dressed in a high-tech exoskeleton. The alien saves Yulia from falling from a half-destroyed high-rise, but as a result of the aggressive actions of Artem and his friends, he himself receives injuries and loses consciousness due to blood loss. The guys find the alien's exoskeleton and take it to their garage for study. Unnoticed by them, Hikon fell out of his suit and, being unconscious, was picked up by Yulia, who came to him under cover of night to help him come to his senses and get off the planet Earth. Meanwhile, the military find one of Hikon's artifacts, take it to the laboratory and try to study it. Yulia, with the help of a classmate, decides to transfuse her own blood to the alien, since his anatomy is very close to human. In response, the alien gives Yulia an unknown object, which flows from hand to hand and allows her to control water. Hikon, who came to his senses later, as Yulia called him Periton, looks like an ordinary young man. At the same time, he almost instantly masters the Russian language. Hikon briefly tells Yulia about the purpose of his visit and asks her to help him get back his high-tech things and return to his ship Sol. Still seething with anger, Yulia kicks him out, and he, not knowing the rules of behavior on the street in Moscow, ends up in the police station. Sometime later, Yulia calms down and still decides to help the alien, using her position as the daughter of Colonel Lebedev. Together, they manage to return his artifact, the so-called shilk. All this leads to the emergence of romantic feelings between Yulia and Hikon. During the visit to the musical concert of Max Kors, Hikon telepathically moves Yulia and himself to his native planet, which, unlike Earth, is ecologically cleaner. The climate there is identical to the earthly one and death is defeated. The alien tells that in reality he did not intend to get to Earth, but because of the meteor shower the ship lost control, and he had to land. If people try to approach the ship, Sol, according to the alien protocol, will destroy it, so that the technologies of the aliens do not fall into the hands of humans. During the concert, one of Artem's friends notices them and reports to him by phone. After the disco, Hikon and Yulia go to the closed area, but run into a group of aggressive guys led by Artem, who start beating them. Hikon gets the most, because his race does not accept violence. He does not attack and even does not defend himself. However, when Artem hits Yulia in the face, Hikon single-handedly scatters the attackers. One of the attackers takes out a pistol from Yulia's backpack and aims at Hikon. Hikon manages to repel the attack, but one of the attackers, Russ, due to Yulia's intervention receives a fatal wound from the pistol. This is noticed by the military and immediately arrest Hikon and Yulia, while the attackers manage to escape. Artem, wound up to the limit by the death of a friend, calls on Muscovites to rebel against the authorities and attack the alien ship with the aim of protecting their land from strangers. Meanwhile, Yulia and Hikon are delivered to the mobile base of the military and kept under arrest. A little later, Lebedev arrives there and has a difficult conversation with his daughter, who blackmails, threatens to shoot herself, takes the keys from the armored car Tiger and rushes to the ship. Breaking through the perimeter defense, the rebels approach the ship, but they are stopped by bots of the alien race, guarding the secrets of more advanced technologies. Nevertheless, they try to minimize the number of victims. Russian military also try to stop the escalation of the conflict. Being in a state of affect, Artem puts on the previously found exoskeleton of Hikon and arrives in it for a battle with the aliens, but his goal is Tiger, in which Yulia and Hikon are driving. In the end, when the rebels were neutralized, the bots almost attack the military, but Lebedev folds his weapon and raises his hands, showing the peaceful mood of his people. At the last moment, Artem knocks out the military, gets out of the exoskeleton and shoots Yulia and Hikon, who tried to shield her, from the machine gun. The bots carry the bodies of Yulia and Hikon to the ship. The artificial intelligence of the ship briefly tells Colonel Valentin Lebedev, who entered the ship with the bots, about the purpose of the visit, the observations of the problems of humanity on the planet Earth throughout its history, and the plans of the alien race for contacts in the future. The AI also reports that Hikon, who had biological immortality, sacrificed his life to save Yulia's life. At this time, the ship's systems restore Yulia's vital functions. The plot of the film is expressed in the form of voiced thoughts of Yulia at the end of the film. The truth is that one stranger from faraway space believed in us more than we did. People say they can't live like before. I definitely can't. In the finale of the film, signs of a working ship regeneration mechanism appear around Hikon's body, a hint that he survived.